Welcome to the greatest wedding show by Crown DJs. And if you're new to the stream, my name's Derek, and I'm a local DJ located here in Lincoln, Nebraska. I do this show every week, and I try to do it every Monday at 4 p.m. Central Time. However, due to a very busy summer and a very busy schedule, I've been pushing it back the last 2 weeks to Tuesday, and I'm hopeful that we can get things back to normal next time I do this. I appreciate all of you for tuning in live, watching this on YouTube. And if this is your first time watching, I just ask that you introduce yourself in the chat. I got my eye on it right now. Share with us your wedding date, the location, and any questions that you guys might have. And also, if you prefer audio over video, maybe you don't like looking at this dome. That's all right. I upload this to the podcast world, so wherever you listen to podcasts, whether it's Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or my favorite, Google Podcasts, search for The Greatest Wedding Show by Crown DJs, and you'll be able to listen to this wherever you listen to podcasts. I said podcasts a lot there. Drink every time I say the word podcast. I'm going to just say it 10 times. I'll try to get it uploaded the next day. This is not your typical greatest wedding show today because I don't have much to discuss regarding my own weddings over the past weekend. So I decided to do some digging for weddings that made the news, and oh boy, do I have a doozy for you. And then I'll share some info about a sale that I'll be doing on select dates in the very, very near future. And then today's big topic is about guest etiquette at weddings. So kick back, enjoy yourselves for the next half hour or so, and we'll get this show rolling. So recently in wedding news, I found this on newsweek.com. The headline was, "Bride ends up in hospital after excruciating first dance at wedding." And we have the footage with Liz Richter on TikTok to thank for this. So let's check it out real quick. So, it starts out, they're having, quote unquote, the best day of their lives. And then watch, he goes for the dip in the first dance, and just watch this. She drops, and you can just see her crying out in agony right there. Okay. As soon as she comes up, he's like laughing. He thinks, oh, this is hilarious. She's just teasing. There's no way I injured her on the dip. And now she's literally a half second later grabbing her leg. He's like, oh no, what did I do? Reaches out. I'm thinking it's for her mom. Next thing you know, people come running. Bridesmaids come. They're waving for more people. Oh no. Your homegirl got carried off in a stretcher. Not quite the grand exit she was expecting to have. Ends up at the hospital in her bridal gown. Takes a picture with the paramedic. Gets a cast. And that's it. So let's watch it all break down, unfold. Looks like she's having a good time. She's warming up that knee. Does a little spin. Almost looks like a choreographed dance, and that's when it just ends. People are looking around like, what just happened? Gets carted off. Man. I have never seen an injury like this before at a wedding. But I can only imagine the mood after something like this happens, because this is not the way you expect a wedding to end. The closest thing I've ever encountered to something like this was back in 2015 when I was still getting my name out there as a wedding DJ in Lincoln, Nebraska. I was working a wedding, I think it was in Malcolm, and it had to have the groom get rushed off to the hospital because he ended up getting alcohol poisoning on the party bus. The wedding party was arriving, and I was expecting to get everyone in order to do the grand entrance, and the first person off the party bus was the groomsman, and he's on the phone with 911, and about 10 minutes later, the bride hops into the ambulance as the groom's getting carried into it on a stretcher, and they leave. And that's not quite the grand exit they were hoping for. And when I saw this video, the one we were just playing, I might imagine that alcohol played a role in that as well. The article that I read about said she dislocated her knee. And as someone who's worked a long time in the wedding industry, it's not often that I see injuries happen, but when they do, it's never pretty. And it has a major impact on the wedding. So whether this hospitalization was due to alcohol consumption or not, I want to voice a bit of caution because alcohol goes down a lot smoother on your wedding night than it does any other day. Guests are handing you drinks left and right, whether it's a hard drink or a shot. It's constantly in your face. And I would hate to see it have a negative impact on your wedding day. Sure, hangovers happen and they're common for the bride and groom, but that's not necessarily the worst thing that could happen to you on your wedding night. So party safely. Let's watch the clip one more time. Man. So this weekend is particularly an unusual one because we have no weddings on the schedule, and that's not what happens this time of year. We originally were booked for a wedding ceremony and reception to happen on Saturday, July 31st at Glacial Till out in Palmyra, Nebraska, but for whatever reason, I was contacted a few months ago that it would no longer be happening. And I've been diligently trying to fill this date, but, it's incredibly difficult to fill dates with such a short turnaround time frame. So how our bookings work, I want this to be laid out and clear for everybody. How our bookings work is that we don't refund any money unless the event cancellation is initiated by us, the company. Otherwise, the client is still responsible to fulfill their payments and should not expect a refund of any kind. Now, in this one-off situation, I'm trying to fill their date with a new gig, and whatever money that I take in from the new booking for July 31st is going to pass it back to the original booking, so the people that canceled their wedding. So for July 31st, I'm running a massive promotion to take 50% off our services at Crown DJs to fill July 31st and get them a portion of their money back. So if you're watching this or listening and know someone looking to throw a big party on July 31st, 2021, then please email me, Derek@crowndjs.com, and we won't waste any time whatsoever. Let's get the ball rolling. I think there's 4 days till Saturday, and who knows when you're hearing this or listening to this. So my email is derrick@crowndjs.com. And then I'm also going to offer the same promotion for a few other dates, 50% off our services. That's DJ, photo booth. I want to say Cold Sparklers is included in that as well. And that will be for a few other dates, which is July 30th, August 6th, and August 13th. Not a lot of time, so if you're interested in throwing a big summer party this weekend or on the 6th or 13th of August, then you got to email me, derek@crowndjs.com. I'll take 50% off our normal pricing, and we'll throw a big-ass party. It's going to be a great time, I promise. And if you're planning a wedding in the Lincoln area in 2022 or 2023, then you won't want to miss this event that's happening at the Talon Room on Sunday, August 1st. From noon till 3 p.m. It's the Summer Wedding Gala. This will be the 5th time that Crown DJs will be having a booth at this event. And to celebrate, we'll be giving away a $100 gift card to Target to one lucky winner and a $100 booking credit to another lucky winner. Plus, we're giving away 10 to the first 10 brides to be registered at our booth for this drawing. The first 10 will get a free tote bag. Totes getting married, and we'll have a $50 booking credit voucher inside the tote bag. So open up the calendar right now, put it in your phone, set the reminder to join us in downtown Lincoln at the Talon Room on Sunday, August 1st at some point between noon and 3 p.m. Myself and Georgie will be in the house for this one. We'll have our DJ, our photo booth, our cold sparklers on full display for you to check out in person. Also, I just spoke to Matt Rogge at the Talon Room this morning, and he said the food tasting for this event will be completely free, so bring your appetite. It's the Summer Wedding Gala in downtown Lincoln at the Talon Room on Sunday, August 1st from noon until 3 p.m. I'll see you there. And real quick, we'll just share go follow us on Crown DJ Co. on Instagram. This is the post. Share it with your friends. If you're a past client, do what Rose did. Well, it's not Rose, it's Emma. Sorry. Emma, she's one of our past clients. She tagged a friend in it. She tagged her friend Sierra. Sierra must be engaged. And this is a post. So if you're a past client of ours and you want us, the easiest way to tell your friends about this is to find the post on Instagram and comment your engaged friends on it. Yeah. $100 Target gift card. We're doing that. And then got a little terrain for you guys. We're going to look at our calendar for August because it's a new month on Sunday. So not a lot of dots on the calendar. And you guys might be wondering what the heck. And that's because we have a lot of events in Lincoln. So it's that lowest dot, kind of southeast Nebraska. But we'll have the Talon Room. We'll be at the Talon Room on Sunday, August 1st. Then we go out east, all the way outside of Nebraska to Glenwood, Iowa for a wedding on August 7th. And then I'm back to Lincoln at Wilderness Ridge on August 8th. That following week, I'll be hanging out with Bass Pro Shops. Shout out to Bass Pro Shops for a big event for their managers all over the country. We'll be doing some music bingo, and we'll have the photo booth up for that, and that's on August 11th. Then that following weekend, August 14th, I'm going to be in Columbus for a wedding for Carly and Bill, I want to say. Let's see. Oh, no, that's for Carter. So Carter's getting married to her fiance on August 14th in Columbus, and then Georgie will actually be at Robbers Cave for Jamie and her fiance's wedding. I'm actually going to meet with them as soon as we're done recording this Facebook Live or YouTube Live. But yeah, Georgie's going to be at Robbers Cave on August 14th. And then August 20th, I go back to Columbus. So I'm back in Columbus for 2 weeks in a row at a new venue I've never been to called the Oak Room, for Carly and Bill's reception. They already got married last year in Colorado, so they're looking to throw their party that night. And then, let's see, looks like Georgie will actually be at Rococo Theater for Brittany Jennett's reception. And then let's go to August 28th. I'm going to be in Omaha at Cafe Postal for Tamara and her fiance's wedding. And then it looks like Georgie will be at the Talon Room on August 28th for Casey and her fiance's wedding. So it's a pretty busy month. Let's count it. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 events in August. And that's a new record for the month of August. So I'm super proud, and I'm super thankful for everybody who's helped make Crown DJs as busy as it's been, because last year was tough, and we rebounded strongly. I'm appreciative for my clients, my referrals, and most importantly, I'm appreciative for everybody watching this video. And shout out to Georgie. He did 2 events this weekend, one with me and then one by himself. And I'm just so proud of the progress that he's made with the company, and he's going to be a strong fixture for us for years to come. So, and let's get to today's big topic, okay? Let's talk about wedding etiquette for guests. I need to take a sip for this one. Oh, that was a lot hotter than I was expecting, which is what my girlfriend says. I laugh at my own jokes. Can't you tell? So let's talk about wedding etiquette for guests at weddings. Oh, I said that weird. Let's talk about etiquette for guests at weddings. And the main thing that I want to talk about with this, and I hope that people don't get the wrong idea about what I mean, but what I notice is when people are in the celebratory mood, they tend to affect the people that day was meant to honor, and not always in a negative or in a positive way. So, for example, I'm just I didn't really plan on what I wanted to say for this, but for example, at a wedding recently, I just noticed that there was this giant wedding party, and I'm setting up for the reception, and it's a hot July day, and I'm witnessing everything while they're getting ready for the ceremony. They're talking out the game plan. It didn't really seem like they had much of a wedding rehearsal, because that venue probably was booked out the day before, so they didn't meet up at the venue to do their rehearsal for the ceremony. So they were kind of getting it out of the way before the actual ceremony happened, which is fine because there's not a lot to do. You're really just talking about order and walking down the aisle, and that's about it. So there's not a whole lot to it. It is what it is. The problem is this bride in particular had a lot of alpha personalities in her bridal party, and they all didn't seem to like click the same. They had the maid of honor or matron of honor kind of telling everybody what's going to happen. The bride's completely withdrawn. She's just letting the matron of honor handle everything. And then you had another clique of girls who were clearly like lifelong childhood friends who've known her for 10 plus years. And then this matron of honor was somebody else who hasn't known the bride for very long, but is very close with her. And she's telling these other girls who might have thought that one of them would be in charge and the maid or matron of honor, and they just really didn't seem to like that. So there was a lot of like back talk in their own like translated way, how girls get when they talk like that. And it just seemed to be like people were more focused on their own feelings than it was about like what the actual event was about. Like, I get that you may not like the person that's telling you what to do, but she was appointed that position for a reason. Either she's closer with them or she's just better at handling shit. But for whatever reason, you're put into a position to have to listen to that person. And if you're not okay with that, then you probably shouldn't be a bridesmaid in the first place. Okay? So wedding etiquette is huge. And I don't think guests or wedding party members really understand how important it is for them to kind of fall into line for a little bit just so that they don't affect this big moment for the bride and groom. The next thing that I really want to talk about when it comes to wedding etiquette is I've seen it at weddings more in 2021 than I've ever seen in years past. And what that is guests walking up to the cake table and grabbing a cookie or a cake or a piece of cake or a cupcake or a donut before the cake has even been cut. And I'm sorry, but that's just bad etiquette, okay? You should not be touching the cake table, the dessert table, until the cake has been cut. And I don't know who we need to address. We need to send it to the Today Show, this video, to let them know that the world needs to take a step back. I get it. Not as many weddings happened in 2020 as we had originally planned, but some reason the pandemic happened and suddenly everybody just forgot that you don't touch the cake until the bride and groom come and cut the cake. It's just crazy. I've never seen so many weddings do this. And then the other thing that I've kind of seen since the pandemic has started to pull back a little bit in Nebraska anyway. I don't know what it's like where you're at, but the big thing that I'm noticing is for these weddings, this is the first time that a lot of people are consuming a lot of alcohol in a public setting, and it almost seems like they forgot to act or how to act in public or how to talk to people. So, like, before the pandemic, I had no problem with the requests I was getting. I mean, I had no problem. They had no problem if I'd play them or not play them. Now, suddenly they spent a year in the house watching everything on demand or listening to the songs they want when they want. And they expect you to almost cut the current song that you're playing and bring in the song that they want to hear instantly. And I'm sorry, but when there's a room of 200, 300, or even 400 people, there's going to be a bit of time before we get to your song request. And the other thing is if your song request is not that good, then you can't get upset when the DJ doesn't play it. That's just it. And then if the DJ says, I'll try, that's probably a sign that you're not going to hear that song. Or it just says that he's trying to build a list in his head of other songs to fit around that so he can get to your playlist. Because more than likely, most DJs, at least for me, most DJs aren't just going to play one-off songs. When I get a request for some country song, I'm not just going to go hip hop, country, hip hop. Okay. I'm going to go hip hop, maybe a slow song, maybe a slow country song, maybe a more upbeat, up-tempo country song, and then we'll go to your request with the country beat. But the people that are dancing to the hip hop music won't necessarily, not always the case, but probably won't get down as much to the country because they're out there getting it. They're getting the groove on. And then suddenly you take a hard turn to the left and you hit them with some country. Now, luckily for rap music, Old Town Road has made that leap to cross the line between country and rap. Also, the Get Up is one of those that like crossed the line between the two and made it easier for us to transition. But I'm not going to lie, those songs have kind of gotten played out at weddings, and they're not hitting as great as they did 1 or 2 years ago. So we've kind of pulled back a little bit on, I'm trying to think what other songs might fall into that. But as far as country rap goes, yeah, I mean, Old Town Road is kind of faded out a little bit, and so is the Get Up. So, if you make a request at a wedding, just have in mind that we're not just trying to please one person. If it's really important to you that we play your song request, make it more meaningful. I'm sorry, but Footloose is more likely to get played than some song by Eminem, especially because Eminem likes to drop some F-bombs and B words and just things like that. So, I remember one time a mom got upset with me because her kid wanted to listen to Colt 45, and I was like, right now, it's like 8:30. Right now, there's no way I can play Colt 45. Have you listened to that song? Do you know what it is? Your kid is 10 years old, and he's telling his mom to tell the DJ to play Colt 45. And that's just one. I'm immediately judging this mother for telling me to play Colt 45 because where has the parenting failed? I mean, I got Colt 45 and 2 zigzags, baby. That's all you need. Like, do you know what zigzags are used for? Do you know what Colt 45 is? I could go on and on. That's like the PG part of the song. It goes really, really raunchy after that. So I want to bring it back to the main point. Guest etiquette. Your etiquette at a wedding as a guest is important. And it does impact, one, it impacts the way the wedding party, the way the bride and groom remember their day, because they don't want to think of their wedding day and be like, man, Travis was a real douchebag. Don't be that guy. Also, don't be that guest that annoys the vendors. Don't come up to the DJ unless you're the mom, or something. The VIPs have a little bit different stance, okay? They can go up to the DJ and be like, we want to take a big group picture. Can you ask for all of the bride's family and cousins to come up for a group picture? Because we don't know when we'll have everybody in the room for another moment like this. Totally respect that. We'll do that. That's no problem. But if you're the aunt and you requested a song, don't just come up to be like, yeah, I'm Steve's brother, the father of the bride, or I'm Steve's sister. If you're his aunt, if you're the bride's aunt, then anyway, don't go up to the DJ and say, I'm the bride's aunt and the bride's father wants to hear blah, blah, blah. I mean, first of all, most of the time I know who the bride is pretty well. I've already talked to the parents of both sides quite a bit, and I have a good relationship with them. And chances are, when you come up to me and you say, the bride wants to hear this, or the bride's dad wants to hear this, I'm watching to see if that bride came out for that song, if I did play it. Or I'm watching the entire room. If you just come to me from the table and the bride's father is over here and you're seated over there and I see you come from this way, I know for a fact that you just lied to me. And if you do that, what are the chances that I want to play that? You better tell me a banger. Or else I'm not throwing it on. I'm sorry. And then don't go to the bride's father, your brother, and say, well, why isn't the DJ playing my song? Don't have him come talk to me, because he's going to be like, I got yelled at, so I need to come talk to you. Guest etiquette. Where did it go? Let's fix it for the rest of 2021, guys. And that's all the time I got for this edition of the Greatest Wedding Show by Crown DJs. If you've enjoyed today's show, please hit the like button and be sure to subscribe to this channel. I do the show weekly, and I'm hoping that next week I'll be able to get back to our normally scheduled time of Mondays at 4 p.m. Central Time. I'll see you guys next time.